if you are not making videos of your story, you're losing leads, you're not hitting goals, and you aren't relevant in the modern day age. I say people can reach out to our team. We will give away our knowledge, secrets, and everything that we've learned.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to the latest edition of FranCoach's Franchising 101 podcast. I am Tim Parmeter, founder and CEO of FranCoach and your podcast host. Today, we have a guest coming in here to join us. Today's guest, however, it's almost like a little riddle. It is neither a franchisor nor a franchisee. They are what's called a franchise supplier. And this is not just any old supplier, and there's tons of them out there in this industry. This isn't just any old supplier. This is one of the top suppliers in all of franchising, and really the only one that does what they do. We're going to talk all about this particular business. There's going to be tons of great lessons along the way as we're talking to our guest for franchise owners and even franchisors. And in fact, I am honestly personally excited for this guest. Every conversation I've ever had with him, I have come away smarter and armed with great ideas to help grow our business. So that's coming up. First, before we get to that, quick reminder of who the heck we are at FranCoach. FranCoach, we are the premier franchise consulting firm. Our number one goal is not to sell you a franchise. We do not sell anything. Our focus is to properly educate you on franchise ownership to help you determine if this is the right path. If so, then we're going to focus on you and help you find what is your best franchise to own. There isn't a top one. There isn't a best one. There isn't a hottest one. This one's going to make you the most money. None of those things are true, even though there's a lot of talk out there about that. Is the most highly individualized and personalized process you're going to go through outside of probably getting married. Make sure you're working with somebody that can help you through that. The focus is you. The focus today now is on our guest. Let's get to that next. All right, everybody. We are back with our rock star, superstar, megastar guest today. He is the CEO. Very cool. I don't know if we've had anybody with this title. CEO and storyteller for franchise filming, Mr. Trevor Rappleye. Trevor, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Tim. Really happy to be on.
Same here. I have from afar been a big fan of everything you guys have been doing for a long time, and it's been good to get to know you more here lately. And love stealing some of your time. We want to hear storytelling stuff. We want to hear franchise filming, but you've been around this industry for a long time. This is a people business. I love hearing stories. Give us the Trevor scoop, man, a little background on you and how did you get into this crazy world that is franchising?
Man, well, I mean, I feel like it's everybody's answer, right? Which I fell into it accidentally, right? Like, no, I don't think anybody seeks out franchise. It's like, oh, I got this job, then this job, then this job, right? So it kind of began back in like 2019. I've been filming since I was 13. My very first movement in filming was when I was a kid. I would pick up my dad's like VHS camcorder, right? And I would like try to hold it, and he'd be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm filming stuff." And I just fell in love with that, and I would film family ping pong matches. I would film family backyard activities. I'd be like, family member, like in a week, the showcase of our ping pong match last week is going to come out. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, but you like have to watch it. And it was some of the worst content I've ever seen. Right. But that's where my love for capturing the moment as it is kind of came from. Right. So, I got into weddings at like 14, fell in love with the emotion, the love that came from the film that came from that day. While every other shooter was filming really cinematic B-roll shots and beautiful things. I'm like, yeah, that's great, but people want to hear the story. Like, so I'd mic up the mom, I'd mic up the dad, I'd mic up the groom during the first look to get that interaction of like, oh my God, he looks so good. So my love for filming raw, authentic moments has kind of translated into wedding space, the B2B space. And then in 2019, I got a call from a franchise brand called Go Minis. And this franchise brand called me, hey, do you guys do videos for franchisors? And I'm Googling like,
what's a franchisor?
What is it?
Yes, but let me figure out what that is first.
Is this guy saying his own industry wrong? Like,
right.
what a dummy, right?
Right.
And basically, he loved our take on how we film brand videos. And I go, Mike was his name. I go, Mike, I don't know how to do franchise videos, but I know how to tell a really good story.
Yeah.
And he goes, cool. And we go and film it. He watches it and he calls me back and goes, Trevor, oh my God, everybody in franchising makes really crappy videos. Have you heard of the IFA? And the rest is history. And I go save up money to go to the show. And now we're franchise filming.
Wow. It's but you're right at the beginning, like almost every single person I've ever asked that question, how did you get into this? There's exactly two people that wasn't a random story, and both of them were just born into it. Their parents were already in franchising, right? So that like they didn't have any choice. Everybody else had some random thing. And what it just like I guess kind of the vision Mike had, right, to know that everybody sucks at this in franchising, and we need to be able to tell that story. So you go and IFA, the International Franchise Association, is a big group for everybody that doesn't know that. We've talked about it before on here, but essentially a lobbyist organization, really. But they do a handful of things to kind of bring people in the industry together. And so you go out to that first show for the IFA. Did you do a booth? Did you exhibit?
Yeah, I'm looking around to see if I have a photo of our first thing. I thought I had it up. So no, I walked the floor, IFA 2019. When I saw the ticket price, I think it was $1,900 to walk the floor. And I'm like, no, I don't want a booth. I just want to walk the floor. They're like,
right. Yeah, that's how much it is.
That's what it costs.
Right.
And I called my dad and I'm like, Dad, this is like, I'm doing wedding videos at $3,000 a pop. Like, I can't afford this.
Right.
And I called Mike, and Mike goes, hey, if you go, I will introduce you to every person I know. And my dad goes, Trevor, put it on an Amex card. Like, you've got to go with that. So walk the floor, found out a couple things. One, how great franchising is, how friendly everybody is. Two, I found out how much of a lack of a focus there is, Tim, on video content that really inspires someone. Like, I walked up like I was a lead and I scanned and like, spam me. And I got no emails about the story of the franchisees. There's no videos of meet the team. They spend so much money on a booth. They spend so much money to send their salespeople places. Yet the content afterwards was non-existent.
Right.
And then thirdly, I learned how much franchising people like to have a good time after the expo. I met more people on the dance floor than walking the floor.
Yeah.
So that was the coolest moment about that.
Yes, it is definitely a people business, and there's no shortage of fun at the events along the way. But I like your comment too, because I think as franchising just in general as an industry is massive, right? There's 800 and some thousand franchise locations around the country, and billions of dollars that are produced every year. So you'd think it'd be all this like cutthroat, competitive, but like it's such a small world once you get in there that people are friendly and they'll talk to one another and help and really open and receptive to that. So that's cool. You got that experience right away. So, do you remember your first client from there after Mike?
Yes, maybe the photos out there, but the brand premier sponsor of IFA 2019 was actually ADP.
Okay.
And we landed them the very next year. On top of that, at IFA 2020, we had a booth March of 2020, everybody. Remember COVID hit
Yeah.
April of 2020. I had a booth. Fast Signs walked up to me. Neighborly walked up to me. And you would think those brands would have resources.
Yeah.
And they did, they didn't want to wait. They didn't want to hire freelancers. It doesn't matter. We had a pain point of, hey, we can get you videos in just 10 days, right? And so at 2020, it's so crazy to say, I was very humbled to say that we signed Neighborly and Fast Signs from 2020.
Wow.
And we still work with them 5 years later. So in insanity, how great franchising is. And I'm so humbled that we can help brands tell the story of their franchisees, because that's what gets people excited about ownership of in this great world.
Yeah. So the when you talk about this a little bit, like there's a lot of, I think in this industry, this is how we've always done it. Therefore, this is how we're always going to do it. So maybe not that they weren't, open to it or receptive to it. It's just new, right? And how fast everything has changed over time. So has your experience been that there's mostly the times people just don't have any clue that this is important or how to do it? Or are you still getting some pushback on, no, we don't need video stuff. We'll just, we'll talk them to death.
So I think it's a mixture of things. If you ask any smart person, and everyone is pretty smart if you're in franchising, they know video content moves the needle, but they don't know how to execute on it. They don't know who will do it. So the easy way out is, let's just film stuff at our green screen or interview things on Zoom. That's the easy way out, because they can't see a path to anything else.
Right.
So, one of the greatest feelings is when brands actually experience the stories of their franchisees. Like when I hear that the leadership hears up based on the content we make of their franchisees, like it's one of the best feelings ever. So, they know video content is important, but a lot of them don't know how to grab onto it. So they just say, next year, next time, next time.
Yeah. Can put their head in the sand. And then I would almost think, like, as you were saying that, I literally just wrote down, I'm like, we can almost ask people, like, okay, when you're scrolling on Instagram, right? So don't pretend like you don't, because we all do. So when you're scrolling on there, do you gravitate towards the plain post that has just words, or do you gravitate towards the videos that look really cool and really well done? Right. And so, you have that. And so you've been working with tons of brands over the last 7 years. And you talk a lot about the storytelling, and it's not so much of the franchisor themselves, though I know you do that, but a much heavier focus on the franchise owners, right? Is that kind of where, like, because that's where the true stories are, where somebody's sitting out there going, geez, I wonder if I can do this. And then all of a sudden they're seeing a video you put together of Bob, the franchisee over here, and like, oh, I can relate to Bob, right? And Bob's story, or like, man, if that dude can do it, I know I can do it. Like, I'm sure there's some really memorable stories that you've been able to record, and like maybe share some of that with us a little bit on those stories.
Yeah. So, when people ask me about what kind of videos to make, I always point them back to the stats and the data, right? The data says that if you just tell a story, it's 22 times more likely to be remembered. Forbes says that 4 out of 5 people don't trust what brands say about themselves, but those same 4 to 5 people will completely trust somebody random on the internet talking about the brand. Like, so I could rave about myself and you'll believe me because, we like each other, but it won't validate it. But if you go on our website and see the 50 Zors speaking about us, now it's validated, right? So, I always tell brands, you need to film your leadership, right? Because people work with people, not your logos.
Yeah.
The mistake I see brands making is they only film leadership, and they do it once every 5 years. And it's really outdated. It's only at corporate. It doesn't show the happiness. It doesn't show the leaders working with the franchisees, like hugging, drinking, happy hour. Like, you need to show that, right?
Right.
Well, the most vital piece of information that a prospect wants to hear is how someone's life has gotten better or changed because of that franchise brand. There's nothing more powerful than hearing from a current franchisee how their life got better.
Yeah.
So one of our very first videos, Glory Days Grill, we're talking to this franchisee. She began as a chef when she was like 17, is still in the system, and now she owns 5 units.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I'm diving into the story, right? Asking questions to get the story out of them, right? We rarely ever use scripts in these videos because we want the story to come out. I started asking her, where were you before this role? And she starts to tear up. And all the leadership is watching, like, oh crap, I'm gonna mess this up. Like, I made somebody cry. Like, oh, and I'm like, is she crying because I'm bad at my job, or is she crying because I hit something?
Right.
And I accepted that awkwardness. That's the thing I tell people: accept the silence when you're telling a story. Like, people, that's how people go through it. She goes, well, I used to be homeless. And she starts telling the story of how she didn't know where her next meal was going to come from. And I'm just like, what a story. And we dove deeper and deeper and deeper into that transformation.
Yeah.
That was one of the best things that hit with me, that stayed with me. And, to this day, we film 50 to 100 franchisees a month around the US.
Yeah.
Maybe one of them is a scripted video. The rest is a story where we're uncovering how their life got better.
Yeah. And I'm guessing the scripted one probably is never quite as good as the unscripted ones.
It scripted will hit on a possible topic that a question can't. Yes. Yeah. But it's never as good. Ever. Because you can't say, make sure franchisee tears up about how much she loves us. Doesn't happen.
Cut, right? Take 2. Oh, right. So, okay. Excellent. So is the majority of what your focus really on the franchise owners, but you talked about the leadership piece is, I always think there's 3 main, we tell all our clients, there's 3 things you really need to focus on finding the best franchise. It's like, number 1 is your role, because you're the one that's got to get out of bed and do this every day. Like, the people within that business. But the third is the franchisor and not what they're selling, but the leadership, their support, their team. Do you feel like these people, like, do you have that alignment, right? Because this is such a people situation. So those videos that you're doing of the leadership team, and it's not just scripted there too. You're getting the story, so it's probably allowing people to get a much better insight into what that brand is really all about, and not, we sell cheeseburgers, man, they're really good cheeseburgers. It's, why do you sell them, and why do you do this? You're uncovering a lot more things like that with these videos, then, aren't you?
It's, yes, correct. It humanizes the leadership. It humanizes the sales team. It humanizes the consultant, right? It's telling the story. How can someone get to know me without getting to know me, without talking to me, right? So we have a Meet the Team page. Go on there. You'll see my story. You'll see me as a kid. You'll see how I used to have a really bad speech impediment, and I used to not be able to speak at all. And you'll kind of hear that. So I have people sending me a message saying, hey, I feel like I know you even though we've never met. And I have to look up, who's this like first contact in my HubSpot? Like, wow, what? Okay, that's a win. Like that immediately separates me from the other bids that they could potentially be reaching out to.
Yeah.
They feel like they know me. And that's that humanization that I still see brands missing, is the storytelling.
Yeah. It's, cause again, like we all got our story. We all got something we're going through. And when you can have that connection of, it's a CEO of some big brand or whatever, like, yes, they're this person that's in charge of this organization, but like, it's just a dude. It's just a woman that they get up every day and like put their shoes on, right? Whatever, and come. And so being able to have those connections, and almost everybody we work with, when they get to the end, there is some piece of that franchisor leadership team, their support, that they're like, oh man, I really connected with so-and-so because like something in the background, something about their life, that there's that huge connection. So I feel like there's always that connection people end up having with them, and leadership, they're not necessarily telling those stories because they're worried about, well, let me tell you about the brand, and we do this and we do this and we do this. Yes, that's great. But like, again, this is a people business, man. You've got to be able to share that, because it just brings the human element in. Oh, okay, I can relate to Trevor because XYZ. And I know one of your little side things that you've done for a long time is you're a referee, right? So for soccer, right? I know nothing about soccer, but I was a former athlete and a coach. So I hear referee, I immediately want to start yelling at you, right? So
used to it.
We get, like, you can sometimes getting to know people a little bit better from that standpoint. And so I'm guessing when you talk to leadership of franchisors and you kind of explain this, there's almost probably like a, like, oh, duh, kind of course we should be doing that, but we don't know how. And you're like, yeah, that's why I'm here, right?
Correct. They know the importance, they don't know how. And even if even if they hire someone that could do it, it doesn't mean they have the decision-making capabilities to actually do it, right? So sometimes an outside vendor can come in and be the loud guy, like, hey, you need this. So like, going back to what you're saying, I love this as a video, not just sound, but like the way I think about it is like, this is where you have to inspire leads at the very top, the top of the funnel. That's what's going to get them to convert, is that inspiring message. That's that video that's going to emotionally pull on the heartstrings, whether it's the founder, whether it's the franchisee. But leadership videos, I like them like right in the middle, right? So when a lead comes in, here's the inspiring like validation. And then after they're in the funnel, then pump them over some great videos about leadership. If they're already in the system, you already paid for the lead. So now you can have them consume more content. And I actually think longer form content is coming back if you get them in via short form videos. So, I mean, absolutely. Some of the leadership stuff, like, when brands make leadership videos, it should never be a talking head. Like, no matter how attractive someone is, we don't want to see their face in a video for 3 minutes, for 90 seconds, whatever that is. So showing the B-roll and the visual of what they're saying. If they say, oh, I opened my first store back when I was a franchisee when I was 20, we ask and we follow up and we beg for that first photo. If they say that they just got married, we beg and plead for that family photo of their babies. Like, that turns everything into a human element.
Because then it's, again, somebody's sitting there that is exploring that particular franchise. Like, I can see myself that, like them, doing what they are doing. I can relate to those experiences, and it creates a lot of comfort at that point. Correct?
It's comfort. It's relatability. I'm going to use a dating thing I like to share with people. Have you ever been on dating app, Tinder?
Yes.
Okay.
Not currently, Trevor, as you know, my lovely wife. So of course not now, but
like as we've all have been, imagine if you set your age range to whatever, back when I was on the app, 25 to 30. And then Tinder, all they're showing me are people 60 to 70 years old. It wouldn't, I would actually delete the app. It wouldn't connect. So showing videos of where somebody is, like if you are trying to attract veterans, showing veteran videos. If you're trying to attract someone trying to leave their really good, high paying job, showing someone that did that and they love life better because now they actually own it. Right. If you know that teachers usually come into the space and leave the teacher job and come be an education franchisee, showing that. So the relatability is what helps with this.
Yeah, I love it. And I think anytime you and I have ever talked, like as I do these podcasts when we're having my conversations with folks, I'm usually kind of writing down a note. I'm like, oh, make sure I ask this or follow up on that point. I'm literally just writing down things that I am learning for myself and my own selfish knowledge with FranCoach. So
thank you.
Yeah. And I think,
yeah,
I told you before we came on air, we were chatting in Miami a couple months ago with my better half, and you had talked about a couple just basic things, even about social media of that. I'm like, oh man, I'm screwing that up as well, right? And you didn't say it this way, but I kind of took it as like, if all you do is like somebody's post, it's kind of like you just flipped them off versus commenting and sharing. But again, the comment and the share goes back to the storytelling. I am sharing something. Okay, yay, I liked it. That took me like a millisecond while I was doing 6 other things, but to create some sort of comment. Hey, I liked what you said when you said X, Y, and Z, or making it relatable. Now we are like expanding that story in so many more ways. And it just, when you said that, and it all goes back to you being the storyteller, right? It was like, and it took me a minute to even kind of get that element of like, oh crap, that's why he's saying that. So but it all goes back to you being the CEO and storyteller, because that's what this all is.
Yeah. And likes are great, but you're right. Likes kind of just is a like, and we like move on. But that share, kind of what we spoke about, like it kind of hurts when someone, a brand, a podcast guest doesn't share it out. You think, oh, what did I do wrong? Is it me? Is it me? Half the time we're just not telling someone how much it means to us if they do that. And if they don't do it the first time, ask again. Like they probably missed it, right? People want to help people. So when I've told brands, hey, I know we've worked with you for 6 months, I realize I've dropped the ball. I haven't actually asked you to tag us in anything. I'm a dummy. Everybody writes back and they go, oh my God, I forgot you. I'm so sorry. Let me go back. Bam, bam, bam. Just because I am.
Right. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. It is. I have like, I'm still not very good at it, but I have made a note of just kind of in my head of, as I'm seeing things, whatever on LinkedIn, like, geez, just take 2 seconds and do that. And I told you before, like literally we hired a couple new people on our team here recently from a support standpoint. And one is to help me with this stuff, with the podcast to do just that. So when this is ready to air, she will be annoying you and your team because clearly you have no clue what you're doing. So we need to remind you. So it is. And so you've talked to all these different franchise brands and franchise owners. I'm going to throw a question at you that maybe you're not quite ready for or expecting, but have you seen any sort of commonality between the people, background, traits, personalities, whatever, that are like, oh, that's the type that really makes for a great franchise owner?
So I'm a big visual guy. I've closed some of my largest deals just with a piece of paper and pen. So, I always tell people the most inspiring franchisees are the ones that have overcame something, right? If somebody left their 9 to 5 and now they kind of don't like their franchise that they're in, they won't make it to the final round of interviews with us or with the brand, right? So we have a 99% show up rate. That if we say we're going to film a franchisee and they say yes, their story will get told. So I tell people, here's them before the brand. Here's the climax. What did they have to overcome, deal with, realize, etc., to now be happy, right? And now they're happy with the brand, loving life. So it's the background, right? Some of the best franchisees. I mean, I remember I was on set last month, and she came over with 2 cents and like a backpack, and now she is a crazy successful franchise owner. Another one just beat cancer, and wow. We were talking about it, and she was crying, and I'm trying not to cry on set, and I see the CMO going like this, trying not to cry, listening. That's the story, right? Yeah. Anybody can buy a camera. That's not actually what franchisors are buying. They're buying the logistics, the schedule, the vision, the talent, and of course the execution on the editing side. So much more than just the filming day.
Do you find that when you've interviewed these franchisees, how has that helped them, right? In their local market and their business, grow their customer base?
Yeah. So when we film the franchisees, everybody wins. The franchisor wins, consultants win, because now there's a story. And on the flip side, that franchisee can use it in their local ads, marketing, website. Even if the franchisee is talking about how great it is to be a franchisee, it still humanizes them. It still tells a story.
Yep.
Right. I remember I try to use franchise brands that we work with when I need housework or something. And I won't say the brand name, but there's a brand right down the street that had decent website, but no video, no photos, stock everything.
Right.
And I go to a brand that we filmed for, and our videos aren't on there yet. But I did see one video that was actually on there, and it was the franchisee talking about the brand. I'm like, oh my God, that's great. I'm gonna use him, because I put myself in the shoes. I didn't actually see the video. I wasn't on set for that specific shoot, but I felt connected to the franchise owner.
Well, I think there's a myth sometimes out there that, especially on a bigger brand, right? It's just corporate or whatever. No, this is locally owned. There's So bigger franchise owners might have 50 Subways all over the place, but it's still owned by, most of these are owned, especially home service things. They're owned by the person right down the street from you, right? You maybe in the grocery store next to them, and you don't even necessarily realize it. So when you can have that video, even if it's talking about their experience as an owner, you're going, oh, I didn't know that was owned here. I didn't know, he mentioned something about, sponsoring the Little League. My kid plays there, right? Or I remember at the soccer game, this horrible ref, I think his name was Trevor, and whatever it is, it brings it all back to that kind of local community then for them, right? So excellent. Super cool. I could talk to you all day long because I'll just keep learning. But I probably need to be moderately respectful of your time.
All good.
So I'm going to throw 2 last little things at you. One, just give us if there was a sense of, maybe there's a franchisor out there listening that for some crazy reason doesn't know who the heck Trevor and franchise filming is, and they still haven't figured out that they should use you. What's your thing you would say to them? Yeah.
So I tell this to people all the time about filming, right? If you are not making videos of your story, you're losing leads, you're not hitting goals, and you aren't relevant in the modern day age. On the flip side, I say people can reach out to our team. We will give away our knowledge, secrets, and everything that we've learned. If we're launching a new website in 2 weeks, franchisefillme.com, but there's going to be a free ebook download. It's going to give away all the secrets that we recommend. So, why
are you giving all that away?
Because that's how much I care for the franchisors to understand how important that is, right? Whether they use that and give it to a freelancer that might work or may not work, or whether they call us to say, oh, this is too hard, let's just have you guys do it.
Right.
So it's a win-win.
Which is what they're going to do. They're going to read it and learn and go, oh crap, we can't do all this.
They just can't, right? I talk to umbrella brands all the time. They don't have the resources internally, externally, freelancer, all that. So usually the CMO, the CDO, they're doing the editing and the scheduling of the franchisees, and it's not a good use of your time, right? So I'll do a free video audit of anyone's site. Like, I'll go through your videos, I'll go through your story, and I'll recommend things. It's one of my favorite things to do, is just mention what's missing.
Gotcha. I would be part of me was like, you're hired, especially for the free part. And then I'm like, oh gosh, I'd be scared of what you would come back with. So, I love I'm excited to see the new website, and, the ebook is super cool. So, last thing, you've been in this industry, you've seen all these different people. Now there's somebody out there listening, like, geez, is franchise ownership for me? What's like all the things you've learned? What would be maybe a piece of advice you would give somebody thinking about, Jesus, is this the path for me?
Man, I mean, franchising is one of the coolest spaces someone could be in, right? The fact that you're in business by yourself, but not for yourself. The fact that you could own something, you can put your hands on it, you can pass it down. That is one of the most coolest things about this space, being a CEO. I mean, one day I'll be a franchisee of something. I don't know of what, but people should take that leap, at least reach out and find out if it feels right, because it's one of the coolest spaces to be an owner with a proven system and a proven book. Like, you don't have to build anything from scratch. It's already built for you.
Yep. No, I love it. And by the way, when you're ready to find that franchise, I got a guy I know that would be more than happy to help you out. So, just super cool. Thank you so much for spending some of your time coming on and talking to us. Again, Franchise Filming CEO and storyteller, Trevor Rappleye. Trevor, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Tim.
Hey, I want to thank again from the CEO and storyteller for Franchise Filming, Trevor Rappleye. Thank him so much for coming on. I have probably a half dozen notes I literally took. I got to make sure I take those from my iPad into something actionable here once I get done telling you this. Also, thanks to all of our loyal listeners for tuning in. We hope all of these things help provide some insight into the amazing possibilities that can be achieved in this industry. Feel free to, if you haven't, and one of the things Trevor taught me, don't just like something, comment, share, do all those things. Subscribe. It's also a huge thing, whether it's wherever you get the podcast, our YouTube channel, any social media posts you do. Hook us up a little bit. Give us some insights, some comments. What do you think? What do you hear? What do you want to know more about? We love to hear that. When you are ready to learn more about if this is a path for you, FranCoach.net is where you're going to find our team. Never, ever any fee for our service. We're going to help you figure out if you should own a franchise, and if so, what's your absolute best one. What are you waiting for? Reach out, FranCoach.net, and let us help our team help you create your better tomorrow. Until next week, we'll see you then.